Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Sam's Financial Corner. And today we're going to talk about the destructive power of giving. And I know people are like, what? The destructive power of giving? You know, giving is a good thing. Giving is a great thing. Everyone should give. If you grew up in church, it's great to give thanks unto the Lord. I grew up in church. So you're going to hear me spout a few scriptures here and there. It's just me. So I don't want to talk about the good power of giving. I want to talk about the destructive power of giving. That point where we give too much, where we do too much, where we don't understand that giving has layers and limitations. It is important for all of us to give. You know, that is part of the, I want to find the right word. It's really, I think, one of the basic premises of humanity. It's important to give. It is. It is important to help people out to the best of your abilities. But I put that disclaimer, to the best of your abilities. It does not make sense to give more than what you can afford to give. Let me say that again. It does not make sense to give more than what you can afford to give. It's fine to give. We've had the analogy, and you all may not be aware of it. It's called I call it the cup analogy. I know there's probably another name for it. What people say is, in my cup is for me, and what flows out of the cup is for everyone else, so that I always remain full. And that is a philosophy that I live by now more than ever. Everything that is in my cup is for me. Everything that flows out of it, all of the extra, all that I really don't need, that's for everybody else, because I don't need it. What happens is sometimes we tell ourselves, well, we need to give. Someone asks me, I must help them. No, you don't have to. No is a very, very powerful word. And you have the ability to use it. And don't let anybody ever make you think that you or that they have the right to demand a yes from you. The money or whatever it is yours, period. You do not owe anybody it. And I'm gonna tell you this, you don't owe it even to your children or to your parents. And I know that's gonna sting for some of you all, and you aren't gonna like it, because some of you all are gonna give that rebuttal. I love my kids, I would do anything for my kids. I would give my last for my kids, and there's nothing wrong with that, because guess what? As a parent, that's how you're gonna feel. Then there's nothing wrong with that. But what I'm saying is, don't give until you have nothing. And then when you need, there's no one to help you. Okay? We have our jobs. We work hard. Some of us have 3 and 4 jobs. And yes, people are in need. But you do not give more than what you can afford to give. That's asinine, and it doesn't make any sense. And all that does is it cripples you, because you don't even allow yourself to have what you need. And when you don't allow yourself to have what you need, you put yourself into a state of lack, because you had before, but then you gave to somebody else and hoping that they would give it back to you. And oftentimes, I'm gonna tell you this, most oftentimes people won't. Here's another lesson. Don't give what you can't afford to go without. Don't give what you cannot afford to go without. I have heard stories of people lending people their rent money, hoping that they get it back, and never do. And then it puts yourself in a state of lack. And what do? Now you're the person. You went from the person who was whole and had what they need, and now you've had the need. Why? Because you exchanged a need for lack. What you did is on a whole nother level, and in this channel, we're going to go there. This person that came to you had a lack. You had what I would say your needs. You had the resource, and they had the lack. They came to you, said, hey, let me borrow this amount. I'm gonna pay you back right away. I get my check, I'm gonna get some extra money. Something's gonna come through. And you're like, all right, cool. And so you make the swap. So now they're made whole, and now you have the lack. And then you expect, okay, they're gonna pay me back. A day or two goes by. Next thing you know, you don't hear from this person. They go ghost. Now you're the one sitting with the lack. because they've been made whole. They had the lack. You had it. You didn't have it. You had the wholeness, and we're going to change it. They had lack, and you were whole. And what you did was gave your wholeness and exchanged it for lack. That doesn't make any sense. And I'm going to tell you this, in 2020 and forever, that's not what we do. That's not what we do over here. We do not exchange wholeness for lack. What is in our cup is for us. What overflows is for others. Now, here's another example. Let's say your friend comes to you, they need money for rent, and you say, okay, fine. But let's say you have a fund of just that it's just money for just in case whatever. And you say, okay, fine. Well, here, you can have this, and you give it to them. And let's say they don't pay you back the money, but you got your rent money, you got your mortgage money, everything you have and more you need. Guess what? You didn't give of your wholeness. You gave of your extra. You gave of your overflow. And that's vitally important. Don't give of what's your cup, of what's for you. Never do that. And I'm going to tell you this. When it comes to family, when it comes to friends, you have a big heart. You love them. You care about them. You know, things come up, and we all know what it feels like to have things come up and need the help of others. We know that. And there's nothing wrong with sympathizing or empathizing with where a person is. But here's the problem, because I've had it. People come, hey, Sam. Hey, how you doing? Good. What's going on? And you know, after a while with certain people, you know, here we go. They're about to ask for something. They're about to ask you. You can already feel it in the conversation. And let's be honest, we've all been there. There's some people, the second we say hello, we say, oh God, here we go. I know they're going to ask me for some money. I know they want something. And sure enough, without fail, they do it. There's some people, they have developed a pattern so well that you're like, okay, I talked to them on Tuesday. It's going to be about another 10, 12 days. They're going to give me another call asking, needing more help. And sure enough, they do it. I'm going to tell you this. Anybody who consistently asks you for money, they are the equivalent of cutting a hole in your wallet. All they come to do is suck whatever you have. You are not obligated to anyone or anybody, regardless of their relationship to you, period. You have every right to say no. You have every right to say, stop asking me for money. You have every right to say, I am not your personal piggy bank. I am not your savings and loan. You're not. And we know the difference between when people are in real need and when people will use us, because that's basically what they're doing. But sometimes we tell ourselves, oh, well, they're my family. Oh, well, they're my friend. I am obligated to. I must. Get rid of that word obligation and must out of your vocabulary in this scenario. You are not obligated to anyone. You do not have to. And be wary of people who always ask you for money or want something, because you want to make sure that in your life you have people who want you, not people who want something from you. Let me say that again for the people in the back. You always want people in your life who want you, not something from you, because all they do is take. All they do is every time they have a need, they associate it with you taking care of it. So here's what happens. Every time you say yes, every time you say okay, and I know sometimes, especially when it's not a lot, because sometimes I'm going to be honest with you, some of them start off with, hey, can I add $10? You know, I'm a little short on something. And most of the time you say, oh yeah. And you cash out and give them $10. You know, you don't really care about it. But after a while, you notice it becomes a pattern. And then the 10 becomes 15, and the 15 becomes 20, and the 20, 25, etc., 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 until you have become a line item of revenue in their budget, which that is not what we're here for. That is not what we do. And there's a difference between these type of people and, to be honest, maybe our parents who have worked their whole lives, but maybe they didn't save enough. Or sometimes they have an issue, a medical issue that zaps their savings. Then in those situations, of course, You're going to step in. You're going to take care of your parents. You're going to do stuff. You're going to make sure that they're okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you cannot make sure they're okay to the point that you're not okay, to the point that you don't have what you need. It's important to always maintain yourself and to care for yourself and to make sure that your household, even if it's just you, it's still your household, is okay and running efficiently and smoothly. I'll never say don't take care of those you love, don't support them, but you know when people need support and you know when people are users. And we need to get to a place in our lives where we do not allow users to be in our lives, period. It does not help you from a financial standpoint. What it does is it adds stress to you. It can negatively impact your health, and it can also negatively and will impact your wallet, because all of that money that you've been giving over the years is money that you could have had in savings, money that you could have been used to working for you, money maybe to start your own business. Maybe you have a side hustle that you want to do from time to time. When you give that money no longer is with you and can no longer work for you. It is always, always important to make sure that you have every dollar you can working for you. It is also important to be there for those you love, but don't enable people, and don't let people think that you are a source of income for them, because you're not. You're not there to be a source of income from them. It's okay to help. It's always okay to help. It's always okay to give. But what I hope that you glean from this video is the destructive power of just giving blindly and not thinking and being conscious of what you're doing. You do not owe anyone anything, but you do owe it to yourself to always operate in a manner that is helpful and beneficial to you, that keeps you safe. And I know people are thinking, what you mean keeps me safe? You do not want to put yourself in situations where you keep giving to somebody and you realize that they don't care about you, because then emotionally you feel unsafe, you feel used, and you feel violated. Oftentimes we don't talk about the psychological or issues that come along with the actions that we do. We just keep it, well, I gave them money, they just used me. No, they violated you. It's a violation. If someone says they won't pay you back and then they don't, but later on they do, okay, that's great. Because I've seen it where people are like, Sam, I need money. Fine, here you go. I didn't give from my what I needed, from my wholeness. I gave from the overflow. I gave from the extra. And then they're like, well, Sam, look, I don't have this amount, but then I have this. I'd never seen somebody work so hard to pay somebody back in little amounts here and there, that after a while I just forgave the remaining amount. They're like, no, I'm like, no. The fact that you are putting forth this much effort, it's cool. And that's okay too. You are within your right. I said white. You're within your right to forgive. I can laugh at myself, and I do all the time. So you're going to see me laugh at myself all the time in these videos. But you have the right to forgive any debt you want to. That's your choice. That's fine. And you also have the right to give. But don't enable people, and don't create a connection where you feel like you're just being used. Because I'm going to tell you this, you are a human being. You are not toilet paper. I'm going to say it again. You are a human being. You are not toilet paper. Okay? Value yourself more. Give where you know. Don't be in a rush to say yes. And also know that you have the right to say no. No, because no. And I'm going to tell you this. If you tell somebody no and they question your no, well, what you mean? Why can't you? No one has the right to question you, period. If you say no, that is it. That is the final answer. No, because no. No, because I don't owe you an explanation. No, because I didn't stop talking. The video didn't freeze. No, because, and that's silence. I don't owe you an explanation. Never forget that. You don't owe people an explanation. Do not give to the detriment of yourself. Always be mindful of your giving and why you're doing it. And don't give more than what you can afford. I know some people may, especially your loved ones, and they may need a larger amount. It's okay to say, I know you need this amount, but this is the amount I can give. And let me tell you this. Those who are appreciative and say whatever you can give and whatever you give, they're like, okay, thank you very much. That's fine. If people have an attitude, but I need, don't give them nothing. Give them this. Never mind. Don't worry about it. If you want to have that type of attitude, can't, because the person doesn't value you. They don't. They just want you to alleviate them and take care of a need off of their back that most likely they've created. We got to stop passing around the lack. The lack has to stop with that person, and we're not taking it on anymore, period. And that's very important. So this video is longer than I thought it would be, but thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will definitely see you all next time. Take care. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.